Hello everyone, welcome to MTRC. Let me introduce myself. I am Anjana Devi doing research in commerce under the guidance of Dr. R. Jayaraj sir, Assistant Professor, Government College, Ambalappuzha, and I am going to be speaking to you about reinsurance in India. As you are aware, in the current competitive scenario, the successful survival of insurance company depends on adequate pricing of products as well as capital management and risk management. Reinsurance is a product that provides opportunity to the insurer to effectively hedge business risk. Let me start off by meaning of reinsurance. Reinsurance is a contract between an insurance company, that is ceding company, and a third party, that is reinsurer, wherein the latter will protect the former by paying losses in case of any disasters or catastrophes or emergencies. For this purpose, the ceding company pays a reinsurance premium to the reinsurer. The following image depicts a process of reinsurance. The image shows that when the policyholder insures his risk to the direct insurer or primary insurer, then the direct insurer transfers a portion of risk to the reinsurer. Then moving to the definition by M. Grossman, reinsurance is a transfer of part of hazards or risk that a primary insurer assumes by way of insurance contracts or legal provision on behalf of an insured to a second insurance carrier, the reinsurer, who has no direct contractual relationship with the insured. Reinsurance is regulated by Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, formed under IRDA Act 1999. Then functions of reinsurance. First one is transfer of risk. It means the reinsurance companies help the insurance companies to transfer their portion of risk. Second one is smooth income. It means a reinsurer can absorb huge losses, so the insurance company's income can be more predictable. The next one is keep less capital at hand. By using reinsurance, insurance companies do not need to hold capital to cover possible losses. So they can increase revenue by investing elsewhere. Then underwrite more policies. Reinsurance helps the insurance companies to offer more insurance policies to the public. Then next one is claim and payout during natural disasters are lower. During natural disasters, reinsurance companies help the ceding company to pay all the claimants. The next one is realize arbitrage opportunities. It means that reinsurance company provide insurance coverage to the insurance companies at lower price than that insurance companies charge from their clients. Then moving to the type of reinsurance, reinsurance can be divided into two, facultative reinsurance and treaty reinsurance. Then what is facultative reinsurance? Facultative reinsurance is a reinsurance specifically designed to cover a single risk. Generally, it is viewed as more transaction oriented. With facultative reinsurance, the reinsurer takes a call on whether it will accept or reject the individual risk. Ceding companies and reinsurer create a facultative certificate that certifies the reinsurer will take on particular risk. Then second type is treaty reinsurance. Reinsurers are bound to accept the risk stipulated in the contract when signing a treaty contract. Reinsurers no longer examine all risks individually, and they are no longer able to decline those risks within the treaty. Then treaty reinsurance can be divided into two, proportional treaty insurance and non-proportional. Then proportional treaty insurance include quota share treaty and surplus share treaty. Non-proportional treaty insurance include excess of loss treaty and stop loss treaty. In case of proportional reinsurance, the reinsured obtain coverage for only a portion or percentage of loss or risk from the insurer, that is based on percentage of premium paid to the reinsurer. First one is quota share treaty. It is a type of reinsurance contract where the reinsurer and insurer share premiums and losses in a predetermined proportion. For example, if a risk is shared between direct insurer and reinsurers at 10% and 90% respectively, if risk assumed is 10 lakh, therefore risk distribution will be as follows. That is direct insurer 10%, that is 1 lakh, and reinsurers 90%, that is 9 lakh, then total 10 lakh. The second one is surplus share treaty. Under surplus share treaty, the ceding insurer retains a fixed amount of policy liability and the reinsurer assumes the remaining liabilities. For example, ABC Insurance Company has received a proposal for fire insurance from a textile mill for an amount of 1 crore. The company's retention for class of business is 10 lakh. A 9-line surplus treaty exists. The arrangement will be ABS retention 10 lakh and the remaining 90 lakh by treaty consumes, then total 1 crore. With the above example, but the sum insured is rupees 70 lakh, the arrangement will be ABC retention 10 lakh, then treaty receives 60 lakh, then total 70 lakh. Second one is non-proportional reinsurance. A base or deductible amount is set in the reinsurance policy and any loss exceeding that amount is paid by the reinsurer. The amount being paid by the reinsurer has no relationship to the premiums received. The first one is excess of loss treaty. Excess of loss reinsurance refers to the practice of reinsurer compensating a company for losses that exceed a certain limit. Under this situation, the insurer first determines how much loss he can bear under a given class of business. If a loss exceeds the predetermined amount, the balance loss will be borne by reinsurers. For example, the insurer decides to bear a loss up to 1 lakh in respect of every loss. The reinsurers agreed to bear any balance amount beyond 1 lakh. The loss is 2 lakh. There is an upper limit of rupees 80,000. In case the insurer bears 1 lakh, then reinsurer bears a balance of loss, that is 2 lakh minus 1 lakh or 80,000, whichever is less, that is 80,000. Again, insurer wants to bear the balance, that is 20,000. Thus, the insurer bears 1 lakh 20,000 and reinsurer bears 80,000. With the same example, if loss is 1 lakh 60,000, then insurer bears 1 lakh and reinsurer bears the balance of loss or 80,000, whichever is less, that is 60,000. Thus, the insurer bears 1 lakh and reinsurer bears 60,000. The next one is stop loss treaty. Here, reinsurance that secures the insurer against losses over a period, usually a year, that exceed a specified dollar amount or percentage of business measures such as premiums earned up to the policy limit. For example, company ABC has arranged an excess of loss ratio treaty with reinsurers whereby it will bear losses up to an amount not exceeding 70% of the gross premium of the class. The reinsurers have agreed to bear any balance but not exceeding 90% of the balance. Ceding company's premium income rupees 1 crore and the total loss over the year is rupees 80 lakh. Here the ceding company bears 70% of the premium, that is 70 lakh. Reinsurer pays 90% of balance, that is 9 lakh. Ceding company again bears balance of loss, that is 1 lakh. Thus, a total ceding company bears rupees 71 lakh and reinsurer bears rupees 9 lakh. Then the evolution of reinsurance in India, it can be divided into 3 phases: pre-nationalization, post-nationalization and post-liberalization. In the first phase, pre-nationalization, reinsurance was not very prevalent in the local market in India before nationalization. The period from 1951 onwards was marked by rapid growth of insurance business due to large-scale economic development in the country. The branches of foreign companies in India were protecting their portfolios under global programs, as the domestic companies had little need to purchase reinsurance owing to only small and medium risk in the portfolio. There were major foreign markets for reinsurance at the time, British and Continental. General insurers who operated in India formed Indian Reinsurance Corporation as a professional reinsurance company in 1956. During 1961, the approved Indian reinsurers, namely Indian Reinsurance Corporation and Indian Guarantee and General Company. And the second phase is post-nationalization. India's general insurance industry has been nationalized by General Insurance Business Nationalization Act 1972. Then GIC has incorporated as a private company for the purpose of superintending, controlling and carrying on the business of general insurance and continue to receive 20% of mandatory sessions. Last phase is post-liberalization. On 19th April 2000, IRDA came into force and exclusive privilege of GIC and subsidiaries relating to reinsurance were removed. In November 2000, GIC has re-notified to have the sole function of national reinsurer.